Hey folks, my name's Jeremy, and these are my eyeballs. It's too bright, so I'm putting my sunglasses on. Welcome to my skateboarding channel. Today, December 1st, 2020. It's kind of brisk and cold out there actually. 39 degrees, it's really not too bad, but I just got off a week of work. You might know me from other places such as my other YouTube channels or through my social media. So, I've been debating this thing for quite some time. I run a YouTube channel that has a bunch of other type of activities on it, and occasionally I would throw in a video pertaining to this activity on there, and well, it just doesn't go very well. I've given it a lot of thought and considered that I'm going to start another new YouTube channel. So this is me. I'm Jeremy. I'm 41 years old. Welcome to my skateboarding channel and snowboarding channel. So basically, this is going to be my channel where I ride boards. So if you're into board riding and maybe you're an old dude like me, stick around, check it out. Might see some shit to get stoked on. That's kind of the reason why I've decided to start a new channel, so that I can focus all of this content under this subject in one spot, first and foremost. Additionally, I'm hoping that through filming some of this stuff and editing it and getting it put together, it'll help keep me motivated to actually progress, because as a youngster, you might be laughing and saying, a 41-year-old progressing in skateboarding? Ha! Well, I can tell you, I still progress a little bit at times. Much smaller increments, but today at 41, I'm a better skateboarder than I was when I was 38, 36, 30, 28, and 20 even. So, there you have it. We're heading down here to the Ogden Skate Park in Utah. That's where I live. It's just going to be a cool thing to have an outlet to talk about and discuss all things pertaining to board riding and skateboarding. Now, as far as a history or a recap of my skateboarding experience and snowboarding experience, well, my very first board, my very first skateboard that I recall was a plastic skateboard called a Coyote 3. And I've looked it up on YouTube, or not YouTube, eBay, trying to find them, see if I can find one to buy. But it was a shitty little plastic, kind of like a little banana board, but a little bit wider. And man, I must have been, I think I was 5 or 6 years old when I got that thing for Christmas. And dude, I rolled that thing all over Tremont, Utah, down along the sidewalks up north of here. Little country town, super small population, but that was officially, technically my first skateboard. So that's, how many years is that? 36 years ago. So I wouldn't say I became a skateboarder at that point in life, but been a skateboarder for, I guess you could say, 36 years. So let's see. The next phase of skateboarding, I would say, came around when I was about 11 years old in the neighborhood, not far from here in Ogden over here. And my parents bought me for Christmas, so we're talking like, what, 6 years later, a super freaking rad Lucero skateboard with gull-wing trucks and Gordon and Smith wheels. Oh man, I've also pieced together on the internet all of those parts, and I just haven't bought the damn thing. But eventually, one of these days, I'm gonna put that board together, and I can't wait, dude. I'll probably skate it a little bit, but mostly it'll just hang on the wall. So yeah, that was a super legit proper skateboard, and kids around my neighborhood were riding and learning how to ollie. I probably hardly even learned how to ollie. So that kind of faded out after a few years. I also still wouldn't consider myself as having been a skateboarder at that age. Now, fast forward about what, 3 more years, and my dad had a shop out in Layton, an auto mechanic shop, and sometimes sometimes we would stay late at work there after business, and I was making a little bit of money. I was 15, I think it was 14 or 15, and so I knew that I wanted to ride skateboards. Up till that point, I'd been riding snowboards quite a bit. We'll get a recap on the snowboarding some other time, but so I always knew I wanted to ride skateboards. So I finally took some of my money, went over to the mall, Layton Mall, went to the skateboard shop in the mall and bought a freaking proper skateboard, fully decked out, $110, $120, however much it was, and yeah, and I remember setting up in the workshop. It was a huge bay shop. It had like 12 bays. I think it was a 12 bay shop. So I remember setting up the air hoses and little, just little obstacles and water bottles and things like that, aluminum cans, to try to learn how to ollie over. And I built this little course, and I was freaking rallying all through that thing. And from that point on, from age, I would say 14, I've always been a skateboarder. And yes, I do a lot of other things in my life, as most people do, especially when you get to be the age I am. Lots of things I love to do. Mountain biking, not really any good at it. Fly fishing, also a total novice, but still love getting out there and doing it. Probably need to do an entire freaking YouTube channel on my fishing. I fly the helicopter for work, but I rarely ever get to do that personally, or pretty much never have, for personal enjoyment. But one day, hopefully, to hope to fly an airplane, get my airplane license, because I've been flying helicopters for over 20 years. It's a good job. Pays the bills. But yeah, lots of other interests and different things that I do, and skateboarding has always been there and has always been there. There was a time when I went into the Army. I'm trying to film while I'm freaking driving. That's awesome. So there was a period of time when I joined the Army in 1999. I was 19 years old. I didn't skateboard for probably about 3 years, really. Kind of took a hiatus. And I didn't even have a skateboard, but eventually I remember I went and I bought one. And what was super funny and weird about that one, it came with, I bought it with Phantom trucks. I'd never even heard of Phantom trucks before this. And the bushings that came in it were so lightweight that my big heavy ass, even at that young age, the bushings couldn't handle my weight. So I don't know what was the deal with it, but I kind of skateboarded a little bit during those Army years. Not very much though. And so I guess you could say about 11 years ago, when I was about 30, about 29, 30, I finally bought a skateboard once again, picked it up, and I literally have not put it down since. So that's why all of my advancements and all of my skills and shit suck, because when all the other kids and all the other dudes were shredding, learning how to do freaking tray flips down stair sets and hitting the handrails, I had put the skateboard down for quite a while and was serving my country as an Army soldier. And so yeah, for the last 11 years or so, I've been slowly progressing and learning transition and tranny and riding the bowls. And at this age, I definitely could afford to lose a few pounds, but at this age, that's pretty much all I like to do is ride bowls, carve bowls, pump around a concrete park, and catch a little bit of air and do basic coping tricks. Practically 50-50 stalls, 5-0 pivot stalls, maybe a little bit of a 50-50 grind here and there, maybe a 5-0 grind. So I can kind of rip around a park a little bit, and I just like to go fast, minimal impact. So yeah, this is my story of learning how to skateboard and continuing to learn how to skateboard at an old age. So I'd like to give a shout out to Chad Caruso. His YouTube channel is freaking awesome. He says that he's learning how to skateboard at an old age. Shit, dude, he's like 32 years old. He ain't old But dude, he freaking kills, and he's a super inspiration. I think he's from, shit, I don't know, New Jersey or something. But somehow along the way, I found his YouTube channel, and yeah, he's a super inspiration. It's awesome. He's such a super good vibe and good energy, and just trying to teach people how to do stuff. So Chad Caruso, check it out. So this is my hometown skate park.